Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Kingdoms and Castles in the humble kingdom of Winterfell, where we have had an update, the Infrastructure 2 update, because we've had an infrastructure update before, but this one brings in a couple of new things in a similar area as previously that we're going to go through today. But before we get started with looking at any of the new buildings, we may have a crisis on our hands. You see, one of the changes was a tweak to how farms work. Basically the devs were like, we've discovered something interesting about the way players are building farms. It turns out that if you make just a row of windmills and a row of farms and alternate those repeatedly, that's the best way to get food. And so we decided to change it. Turns out the jig is up. They've worked out that this build here is the way to get the most food, and they're like, that's not what we wanted for the game. That's not the idea we had. So they've shut it down. They have changed the system. And now, windmill bonuses don't stack. To make up for it slightly, windmills now give a bonus of 3 food to each farm around them rather than 2, and it's stacking. But I think that still means that we have massively less food production than we did before, which is bad news for our peasants, as is this fire that's just happened. Rebuild that. Though we will... Oh, is that another fire? Oh, come on, put it out, put it out. I believe in you guys, come on. They're moving in, but slowly. Can they stop it in time? Another part of the update means that this sort of thing is going to be happening less. We're going to be able to deal with fires a bit better, but we'll get to that momentarily. First, let's see how this is going. So previously, I think we were having food production of like 20 in some of these middle farms, and now it's 9. It's 9. That's all it makes. This one's making 10, because I don't know why. Is it good? It's fertile ground. Yeah, this isn't great. We've had a serious reduction. However, we can mitigate this a fair bit by getting rid of a lot of the windmills we have and turning them into farms because they're now obsolete. For example, this one right here can be swapped out for a farm and nothing is any worse off, I'm pretty sure. Because now, because they don't overlap, we don't want any windmills overlapping the regions that they cover because that's wasting space. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 here. Swap them in for farms. And we're going to see... Oh, there's the harvest. So it says we've gained food this year so far. That's a good sign. So maybe we're still okay, but I feel like we were gaining like hundreds of food before, and now we're not. I don't really know. We're losing a lot of exposure. It's hard to say. Maybe it's not as bad as I think because all the outer ones have gained 1. Though actually, they haven't. Thinking about it, no, they haven't at all. Because these middle ones have been getting bonuses from 3 different ones, and now... Yeah, it's half the bonus it was before. We have a merchant. I don't think there's anything interesting to get from the merchants right now. Maybe we buy food, but I think we're okay. So yeah, we're going to carry on going through. Basically, we want a gap of 2 between each windmill. Unfortunately, that doesn't line up nicely with the arrangement we have here. So, damn. Now I'm wondering how I can make it look not too terrible. And now the question is, do I just leave a gap without windmills here? I don't think I want to do that. But then again, the bonus is these 3 middle farms. Because if we cut out these 3, then everything's getting 3 food, except the middle row here. Oh, and also there's the fact that these are overlapping here, which is a waste. All these middle ones are wrong now. Now the way to do it is to have a 6-wide block with food. So that you don't have the windmills too close together like we've got them here. Everything has changed about how these work. I'm going to check this again. It still says positive. I mean, it will for now, because it's going to take a year till it says anything otherwise. Oh, we may be having symmetry issues as well. I wonder if that's related to the update somehow. Yeah, so we'll definitely clear out these ones here. And then... just get rid of these for now, and then think about what changes will happen if we move anything else. So right now everything's getting the bonus of 3. If we take this away, if we take both of these away, we lose 15 across these. But we gain like 18. So yeah, I think because they're only covering a few between them, it's actually just better to have more farms. So yeah, windmills are going to be a lot more few and far between now. Now how to do this one. It's slightly weirder because we've got like non-farm structures in the middle of this. This one's quite a mess. We've got a well over there, a fountain over there, and a reservoir over there. There's just water-based buildings encroaching on all this farmland. We'll start by deleting these because that surely can't go wrong. Then what I might do is delete this and this, or this and this, I think. Actually, that makes no difference because it's mirrored ultimately with how these things work. But I'm thinking if we do one from here and one from here, that makes best use of the remaining space. Actually, it may not make a difference. Let's put the farms in. There, 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 and there. So if we took all of these out right now, they're only affecting these middle ones here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 18 food, and then replacing the windmills with farms is going to give more. It's going to give 9 per again. Oh no, it's not going to be 9 per. It's going to be 6. Oh, maybe I did the maths wrong over here then. Maybe this was better. Yeah, these are producing 6 now, which is rubbish. Oh, but these were producing 9, so that was correct. Never mind. Okay, back over here. Like this one right now. Actually, yeah, if I get rid of... if I get rid of this and this, nothing changes. It doesn't get any worse. We'll do it like this, I think. There we go. No farms have lost coverage there. All we've done is gain more farms. And then these are the ones where it makes a big difference, because now if I remove this... Well, if I remove that, that's 3 losing their bonus. So that's 9, and I would only replace it with 6. So it's better to stay with that system, I think. So yeah, it's all a bit messy now. It's all a bit weird. When we build new farming areas, we're going to have to do it completely differently. How's the food holding up? We've had another year pass and it's still positive, so maybe we're okay. Maybe it's less of a crisis than I thought. And the fact that we've swapped out some of these windmills will help as well. So perhaps we're okay. And even if we weren't okay, we could have expanded into this area here. Okay, so that's the initial concerns dealt with. We're not going to have society as we know it collapse anytime soon. Oh, there's another harvest. A lot of them were saying they were producing 10 there. Oh yeah, because when it's oh, it's the master workers. That's what it is. Master workers have moved in a lot of places, making it 10. So some places can probably be 11. Can have some producing 11. That's not too bad then. It seems like we're holding up fairly okay. Oh, everyone's doing their weird dance around because all of the granaries are full. Everything on the field just dies while these people are trying to find a granary that's empty, and then all their food goes off. Yeah, it's fine. We're losing tons to exposure. We gained hundreds that year for some reason. Don't even know why. That was a little bit strange. We are out of cemetery space, genuinely, across both of our cemeteries. Okay, well, I was thinking last episode that we build some cemeteries like behind the cathedral. Does make a fair bit of sense, so perhaps we'll do that. We could do quite a sizable one if we wanted to. Let's see, there's the cemetery. And how... Okay, we can't place it under the aqueduct. Can we place the normal cemetery blocks under? Oh, got a slight one. Yes, we're allowed those. We just have to do the initial cemetery structure, not underneath. By the way, there's been a slight visual change. You might have noticed there's now sort of dirt roads underneath the stone roads. Don't know what I think about it. Seems a bit weird and is really standing out in the winter. I think they forgot to have snowfall on it. So now it looks strange. And it's only in some places, maybe? Oh, no, it is everywhere. That was weird. Yeah, that was odd. Maybe it's something to do with irrigation messing it up. I have no idea. It's a little bit odd. Okay. Cemetery, caretaker, where to put it? How to arrange it in an aesthetically pleasing fashion is the question, because I kind of want it back up against the cathedral, but I can't, so... Probably go... Like, maybe it's backed up against the reservoir? That's a kind of nice structural thing, maybe? Or we have it nestled in here. Let's have it nestled in there, actually. There we go. Let that be built. It'll have the one cemetery block. In fact, we can demolish that cemetery block and put a better one in. Because the starting one is rubbish and below capacity. We've got to cram all these dead people in as much as we can. Let's have them that way. Yeah, let's just fill in this whole section here. And then if we want to, we can overflow into underneath the aqueduct, though I feel like the relatives might be a little bit unhappy about their relatives being buried under an aqueduct. I don't really know. Maybe they'll be fine with it. Maybe some won't care and enough won't care that we can bury all of them there and it'll be fine. I don't know. Anyway, yes, that's another minor crisis resolved. Nothing urgent coming. There's going to be a dragon eventually, but we've got that pretty well covered. The Vikings are never going to attack unless I let them. I have now worked out what's going on with that, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the changes in the update, because there are some useful things for us, and also some things that are no longer useful because they're early game, but you never know. There's the merchant. Nothing fancy to sell us. I think we've bought all the interesting stuff from there, so that's all fine. So I've got the changelog up. Let's go through some of the stuff. So there's new map generation. Apparently they've rejigged how the map generation works. There's going to be bigger gaps between different islands now because this is not much of a gap at all. At some point we're going to build a port here and the boats are just going to go doop 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 and deliver whatever we need. Really, it's a bit silly. So they've made it so the gaps are more like 10 tiles wide or something like that. Then they've also made it so that there is a lower limit on how small an island can be, which I feel is a shame because I like tiny islands. I mean, maybe this is big enough to count as an island still. I don't know what their limitation is, but I like the idea that you could have really diddy islands and just build like a little fort on them, something like that. I'm looking forward to doing something like that when we get to that island over there. Very soon now we'll be getting to this island at the very least and seeing how that all works. Then we're into new structures in Infrastructure 2. The first one is the wooden gate, which makes a lot of sense. It was a little bit weird before that you could have wooden castle blocks, but then if you wanted a gate, it'd have to be stone, and it just looked really odd and out of place. Now they put a wooden one in. Piece of cake. Job done. Nothing much else to say there. It's weaker, it's cheaper, etc. Next up, we have something that I think a lot of players of Kingdoms and Castles will appreciate, the Fire Brigade. It's a firehouse that employs professional firefighters who are faster and better at putting out fires than average peasants, which is brilliant. So I'm going to put a bunch of these down throughout the kingdom probably, and now when fires go off, they'll be able to rush in and actually do a decent job, unlike the peasants who seem to be pretty terrible at putting out fires, somewhat reasonably, I'll be honest. Oh, let me just check. How's the food doing now? Oh, we had a loss this time, but a bunch was to exposure, which means it's fine. Means we're at capacity, so it's reasonable that we were losing food. Moving on, one other structure we have is the stone bridge. Just to fit the aesthetic of the stone roads, you can have stone bridges going across rivers and moats and stuff, which does remind me, they've also added rivers to the game, like little stretches of shallow water going through the middle of islands, unlike the things we have here, where it's deep water and therefore can't be built across with bridges or piers or anything. And I think that's it for the structures. It's a relatively small update as things go. Nothing huge and majorly changing to the game, really. And then another thing that's happened is they've changed how the tax is working. So there's now percentage rates, so you actually know what the numbers correspond to. So a tax rate of 1, 2, and 3 was 10%, 20%, 30%. I don't know what it's a percentage of, because I don't know what mechanics of money earning there is in this game. I don't really get what that's about, but they've now said that that's what the rate is, so I guess that's what the rate is. And also they've given us more increments of it, so we could do 5% increments now. So we've got a finer tuned control over how much money we're making, so it can be like, just make me a small amount of money to keep me afloat without making everyone miserable, and that sort of thing. That seems like a bad idea, though. That makes our money terrible. I'm just gonna see, at what point do we break even? 20%? Yeah, 20% we start to break even, and then 25 it's getting ridiculous, and then 30% we're making 600 a year, which we don't need. Put it back down to like 20%, because that's enough to be earning money overall. And then, let's go buy a thing, because I think we never got around to buying this last episode, but we could buy Stronger Sails, increases transport ship speed by a significant amount for a hell of a lot of money, but we have that much money now, so there we go. It's going to take 3 years to do, which isn't terrible. And then when that's done, ships will move quicker. I don't know if it's just our own ships or merchant ships as well. Doesn't really matter. that much. I'm not too bothered about merchants arriving quicker, but it might be important when we have another island and we're delivering things between our island and that one, or the first island and the second. So there we go. We have a dragon attack coming very soon, so we'll see how we fare with that. I imagine it should be fine. I think everything's set up with the jobs right. Probably. Yep, there they are. The archers and ballista operators are all happy. That's the merchant. I'm going to check up on them, but I don't think there's anything I want. It seems like we're really just fine for all things. We are losing tools slightly every year. We can fix that. Nothing's happening with armaments, of course. Gaining charcoal in quite massive amounts, actually. Wow, okay. Stone is going up. Iron is going down. Okay. And we have our dragon attack. There it is. It's a big one and a small one. Let's go down to slow speed to watch this happen. Here he goes, and he doesn't get anywhere before he just collapses and dies in the middle of the road. And the peasants can get round to eating him. And the other one's gone down as well. Conveniently, they both landed in roads, so they're easy to access by our population. And there they go, tearing the thing apart quite viciously and horrifically, I'll be honest. But that's a bit more food for us. All right, back to triple speed so we can watch everyone going about their business. Now, on to another thing, the Viking attack thing. So we're overdue a Viking attack by 45 years, which is a bit weird and a little bit of a problem, because it removes a lot of the danger of the game, and that I can't be attacked by Vikings, and that's a bit boring. So, I've realised, and also been pointed out to, why this is the case. It's because there's nowhere for them to get in. I've surrounded my entire kingdom with walls. They cannot get here. It is impossible. So, I've got two options of how to go about this. Option one, I open up the walls. The thing is, though, that I think it's not actually the walls, it's the piers that are the problem. I think they need, like, actual just, like, earth, grassy land to make landfall on, which is why I was confused, because they stopped attacking before I finished putting the walls in, but it was after I finished putting in all of the piers, and that's why it didn't immediately twig that was what had happened, because it had already begun. So I think I would need to open up a gap in the wall and also remove some piers to make a path to actual grassy terrain, and then they would suddenly attack. I'm not sure what form the attack would take. I guess it would just be a normal attack, and then they would continue business as usual like it had never happened. So I could do that. I could open up a gap for them to attack through. Or I could leave it, and then the moment I build something on this island, they'll launch their attack, and we'll see what happens when an altogether undefended and unprepared startup of a kingdom is attacked and has no one to help it. So that'll be interesting. I mean, I guess if we build it on this shore, they might try coming down this channel anyway, so our towers would still be able to take them out. We still have enough in the way of our giant defensive things to stop them. But I think that might be the more fun way to go about it, so I think that might be what I do. Because it'll be great. So for now, I'm just going to carry on business as usual, building up the first island, and then when we're out of space on here, we'll expand into the second one. There is one other thing I could do, though, is I could just, like, open up this whole section and build just, like, a killing field, where they all land here and make for some gates, and there's just a wall of turrets stopping them getting in. That might be fun to watch every now and then. There's a few different ways to go about it. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I might change my mind if people have a particular interest in doing it a certain way. But for now, I think the remainder of this episode will just do a little bit of building over here. I would like to build some houses back here, because that was half of my thinking when I built the cathedral, which covers most of this space, and the library, which also covers most of this space, is that I can fill this with houses, and they'd get a bunch of bonuses from stuff. Oh, also we should build the firehouses. Let's get that done. Well, we had a fire over here at the start, so let's get this one right out of the way. Let's see, how does this look? It's got doors on either side, so doesn't really matter which way around it goes, but there we go, we'll put one there. I just want to find lots of little spots to nestle this in. Oh, there's a perfect one. Right next to a well, that seems like a good idea. They might need a well nearby so that they can actually retrieve water for their firefighting efforts. Oh, we can put one here as well. Excellent. And there's nowhere around here to nestle one in. We could always make some space in certain places. we do want one near the charcoal stuff if we can. We want one right there. Let's chop down these trees right here and put one right by the well and the charcoal makers, because they like burning, which makes sense. It's what they're supposed to do. They just get a little bit overzealous from time to time. So how's our coverage of these now? The first one is built, so there we go. It doesn't have like a coverage thing. It just has the 5 firefighters in it. So we probably need to worry too much about like getting good coverage of them, because half the point is that they travel super fast, so they'll get to wherever there is fire pretty quickly. Still, you want to give them a fighting chance of being able to get where they're going. So we'll like nestle one down here as well. It's good because it's a 1x1 building, and the more of those there are, the easier it is to fill in random weird little gaps you get in places around the map. That's sometimes a problem I have where I've got a gap of one. I'm like, I've already got a well, what else do I put around here? Okay, so they've all been ordered. Clear out this tree over here. I'm going to leave that one last tree there, so it's got a chance to grow and expand if it wants to. Anything for us? No. Don't even know why I'm still checking. So what I'm thinking, houses all along here, a bunch of houses in here as much as we can fit, and then all the servicey stuff in the middle here. Basically similar to the structure that we have. Though I don't think we've not actually done that plan properly yet, the thing that I did in the original Kingdoms and Castles series, so this is actually our first kind of usage of this system. So, yeah, that way around, and just run a bunch of these along, and then have some facing the other way on the other side. We'll leave these for now, and we'll check that we've got enough room here to put in everything we want to put in. So, let's have a look at the church. So we've got a church just over there, so coverage is already pretty good. We can have this over here and it would still be fine. It would still get everything we wanted to get. There'd be a little bit of a gap over there, which isn't a problem. We had it up here, then we start to have gaps. So we want to have it further down on this side, if we can. And then just arrange it right there, I think. Gives us everything we want. Then we've got like the town square. So there's one over there again, but the coverage doesn't get up here. This one's pretty good, so we can have this like nestled right over here, and it still gets everything it needs to get, though that might be a bit too much. I want it further down here. How many have we got to work with here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. Made it an odd number. That's fine. There's plenty of, as we've demonstrated now, there are plenty of 1x1 buildings we can use. Taverns is something we should think about early on, actually. This one's actually... Has the tavern coverage increased? I feel like it's better than it used to be. Definitely feels like it. I'm thinking we put one here, and then we nestle one somewhere over here. Doesn't have to be right there. How much does that leave us? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one last little bit there. I think that works. Line it up with the church. And then, what else have we got we want to build? We'll have a fire brigade somewhere around here. We might put it right back in the back corner over there. We'll think about that towards the end. That's filler stuff to finish with when we've got lots of tiny gaps remaining. So we've got the town square. Nothing else big from here we want. We've got church. Could do a hospital. A large fountain in the middle of all this would be nice. I would like that. Because that gives us water coverage just everywhere. Somewhere back here would be good, actually. Oh yeah, we're allowed to build these on piers. That's a good point. That's useful. Though, it needs to be in range of irrigation, so it's got to be over here if we have it. Which is annoying, because it's just a bit too far away to get that in its range. Could have a well over there. Actually, yeah, we could do a well right there or something. Yeah, so we'd have to have it, I think, here to work. Let's try putting it there and see when it's built if it works. We want to have a market, and I'm thinking I put that right there. That lines up nicely. And then, no, we finished here. There's probably more stuff. There's statues and all sorts we can put in here. Clinic, library. all that good stuff. Oh, we do want a garden somewhere around here, don't we? That'd be really useful. And the optimal garden thing is to have like one and then surrounded by 4 on the corners, on the sides even. So we could try doing that. And it's how to arrange it and make it sort of space efficient but also looking nice. The gardens have to look nice. This is an important thing. Whatever else, they have to look nice. Okay, that fountain does work, even though only half of its tiles are overlapping. Yeah, the garden stuff has to be over here, as we know, so we can work on putting in more stuff over here for now. Town square, I'm thinking back here. That should be fine. Yep, we'll do that. What else? Anything from this tab? Just the market. I think we'll put the market in. Right there. Definitely will need it being so far away from any food production or even storage. It's actually probably going to struggle. We may need an extra market to keep these places fed. And yeah, we might put a hospital in, but we might not have enough space for it when we're done, which is fine. We can just put a clinic in instead. Or even multiple clinics in all the spaces we have remaining. I don't think there's any industry we would want. No. And then anything here? No. Okay. One thing I've been thinking as a nice decoration thing is that we could put moats in places and then have bridges or even drawbridges or stone bridges going across them. That might look nice, and I think it's allowed. Well, how's our food doing? Positive. Good. The number doesn't look right, but I think we just caught it at a bad time. And that's why I know I stopped to look at it, because I'm like, I just glanced over and I'm like, that number is less than half of our capacity. This is bad. I must investigate immediately. But it all seems to be fine. Okay, so I'm thinking I've lost it. Where is it? An advanced town, of course. I'm thinking garden, like one going across here and then across here, and then we have one in the middle that's covered by everything, and that's kind of the best coverage. The thing is, though, the actual coverage of it is tiny, as demonstrated by the tiny thing surrounding it. And I remember now, these are roads. These function as roads. We could have these be the roads. Because this isn't a thoroughfare. No one's going through here to get anywhere. This is just housing. People only go here... Well, in fact, people won't even go there, because people never go to their homes. So we could just have gardens run through this whole thing, and some of them won't be irrigated and won't be so good, but some of them will. And that'll be the best way to actually give bonuses to the whole area. Also, apparently we're allowed to build gardens on piers, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm thinking, let's actually just run gardens all the way down and have these be the roads. Actually just fill in the whole thing with them. And then all the houses are going to get a pretty good bonus from the gardens that are literally right next to them. We could do the same over here. Oh, what? Oh, we're out of money. Gardens cost money. Whoops. Up the taxes. Everything's fine. Just before a dragon attack as well. That's bad. I hope people didn't leave their posts. It looks like they didn't, because everyone still seems to be master archers and so on. Oops. How much is a garden? Oh, it's 35 each. Oof. Oof, that's expensive. That's more than a house. Yeah, manor is 25, 1 gold per person. Wow, that's a way to run out of money fast. Just gonna carefully do that. Oh, well, unhappiness because these new homes don't have all their bonuses being applied yet. Oh, and the bathhouses are too crowded. Ah, crap, we need another bathhouse? Where do we put that? Might have to have one over here. I mean, this is three wide, so what we could do... demolish that. And then immediately put it back in. I've lost it. I'm doing the thing where I just click random buttons till I find the thing I want. There it is, tavern. Plonk that there. Oh, the dragon's here. We'll pause to see how this is going. I see one big dragon. Oh, there's the small dragon. Taking a while to follow. Here he comes, flying straight over his dead friend. Probably not happy about that. One day we're going to land on that island and we're just going to be like, oh, a bunch of food. Convenient. We're making an investment for the future. And there he goes. Crashing down right by our farms. Easy to harvest. And meanwhile, the other dragon still hasn't arrived. I'm actually going to fast forward because it's taking his sweet time getting here. Trying to go for a further away section. Here we go. Just remember, archers, kill him after he passes our walls so we can eat him. Going straight for the dragon statue, I see. Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, flying by it and then like, hold on, is that a dragon statue? Turns around, gets shot, dies. How convenient. And symbolic, maybe. Everyone's gonna think that's an omen now. Alright, we've moved that out of the way, which gives us a 3x3 space here that we can put our bathhouse in. So, that's right here. We put the bathhouse here, and then we connect it up with aqueducts, which are in farming. Plonk, plonk, plonk. Should be enough water to fill that. Everyone will be happy again. We won't have people complaining. And we probably still have enough space to finish building everything we want to build here. It seems like it. Okay, let's go through the list again, see what we have remaining. So we want a fire brigade and a well. That's 2 one-wide structures. Clinic and library, that's 4 one-wide structures. Anything else? Don't think so. Another market if we have the space, which may well be the case. But yeah, I think we do, and I'm just going to put it in right now. We're going to put one in basically right opposite that one. And then that'll service these houses a little bit more, and I guess also take up some of the slack over here. Then we want... we've got that fountain there, but we want to have a well. So we'll put that over here, and that'll cover these at the back a little bit better. And then... let's think. This here we don't have anything for yet. Do we put a hospital there? Just have that sorted. We want a library. Probably want 2 of these, thinking about it. Yeah, 1 down here and 1 up there. So that's what we'll do. Have it like that. And then this one can be up here, right by the well. And then it's just a clinic or 2 and a firehouse. As a merchant, I'm not even going to bother checking. I don't know why I carried on checking for so long, because they don't have anything for me anymore. I've unlocked all the things. I'm just going to hide the clinic in this corner here. It's not important. Just the one of them. And then the firehouse we'll have right here. So they run out of the building to the well, grab the water, and then go where they're going. That's my imagining. I don't know if that's actually how it works. We'll see. And then I think we're out of stuff to build. We've still got things here. I think we've got all the bonuses we want. We could do a little cemetery. We might need more of that. Though there's one right here, and it's not even seen any real use yet. So I don't know if that's actually a problem. We could put another statue here. I don't know how big the range is on these. I know it drops off, so... like, is this guy getting any statue happiness? I'm not seeing it. Oh, they've got an issue with charcoal. These guys might be taking a while to fill up. That is one issue with the garden roads, is that people are traveling slower on them. You can see the huge change in speed as they pass between. So maybe it was a bad idea, but also I wanted to do it. So... it's interesting. Why is this one... huh? Oh, there's like a tiny gap in the coverage right there. So I was like, why is this one further along than this one, and the same for this? It's because of the way these are spaced. There's this one tile here that isn't covered. Also, why are these flowers white? What is that about? Is it a glitch, or is there some genuine reason for it? Because we were having that before over here, and it's gone now. I don't know what that's about. Very weird. Yeah, I'm going to build some more houses now. Over here, because we've shown that we have enough space for this. And there's even more room around here for things to nestle in the corners. Actually quite annoying how much space there is there. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe we'll just build a giant defensive tower instead. Really, I should have actually moved these all up. In fact, no, I will. Cancel it all. Delete all the buildings. Do it again. Gonna move them all up. Gonna squash them in here. Because that seems better. And then we've got a bit of space down here that we could put something in if there's anything we want to. Also, we will have... Where are gardens? There they are. Can we have gardens over here? I think this is irrigated, actually. We'll find out. We'll put them down, and we'll see what happens. Got one space there. Maybe we'll put another market in. It seems like these guys are struggling. Oh, there's plenty of charcoal here. Yeah, they're happy about it now. I think I'll make it a statue, because there's happiness over here from statues, but not much. Whereas over here, the happiness thing... Oh, 3 is the limit, actually. It's like that. They're getting 3, these are getting 3, these are getting 2. And these aren't getting it. The drop-off is very sudden, apparently. But if we put one there, that means all these houses are getting 3, rather than most of them anyway. Maybe it's not worth it. Then again, what else do we put here? But also, I'm going to cut down this tree here. I'm going to put 2 manors right at the edge here. See what population that gets us up to. When all's said and done. Come on. There we go. I'm guessing it'll get us up to 1,425. Which is pretty good. We are now beyond the killer peasant. And we'll see how we fare. There's been some plague issues. I didn't notice one cropping up, but I know that happens from time to time. You know what? We'll have a hospital here because we don't have one anywhere nearby. I notice. And we should probably have one. So we have a clinic over there, but whatever. We also have a proper hospital now. And I think that is where we'll leave it. There's a couple little bits and bobs where we could put more stuff in, but I don't think there's any stuff we want to put in. I think that's pretty good. And that is almost the entire island filled. We've got a bit of space over here for farmland. Speaking of, I think food's going okay, but we'll want to keep an eye on it. Now, there's some space around the edges here, and a little bit over here. But mostly, this island is full. We're almost out of room to do anything more here. And then we'll have to expand onto the giant island over here that's going to be real interesting to colonize, considering just how much of it there is. We think 1,000 peasants is a lot. We're going to be at like 5,000 by the end, which I think is the achievement that I never did manage to unlock in the previous series. So we'll see if we can get to that in the long run. There's a merchant. They've probably got nothing for us. That is correct. I think everything is fine. If we want more stuff, we can always build more stuff. We do have a bit more space. But I think that is where we'll end it for today. We ran a little bit over time. But fair enough when there's been a little bit of a gap since the last episode. And so next episode, we'll probably see if we can find things to fill the remaining space with, and start maybe making plans for the expansion. I keep saying I'm going to do the expansion, but then there is always a little bit more I can do on this island. Eventually I will straight up run out of room and I will go there. I just don't know exactly when it will be. Could be as soon as next episode. Could be in like 4 more. I don't know. It's when I run out of interesting things to do on this one that I will go, okay, let's see what this whole colonization feature's about. We'll find out about that another time. With that, I shall say goodbye, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.